The Onision court documents are wild. YouTube and Onision are both being sued. What? How is YouTube getting wrapped into that? Controversial former YouTube star Onision sued for allegedly grooming. He's been accused of using his popular YouTube channel to recruit, solicit, and groom underage... Oh man, holy shit. No, this is 3 hours old. This is happening right now. February 9th, 2023. Well, the update is 3 hours old, at least, on Rolling Stones. Yeah, this is following the 2019 stuff. Holy shit. God damn. Wait, they got a lot coming in here. 6 other women who had past relations with Jackson also came forward and accused him of abuse. And this is already on the back of, like, the underage grooming stuff. This was a talking point for a long time. He had a whole website dedicated to, like, grading underage girls' bodies. Like, this one... That's been known for a while. I'm glad action's finally being taken on that kind of shit. YouTube is also named as a defendant in the lawsuit. The lawsuit alleges that by continuing to monetize Jackson's channels, even after several journalists and users notified them of the allegations, YouTube profit shared with Onision's channel. And it also alleges that by demonetizing Onision but not removing the channel or its videos from the platform entirely, YouTube is still profiting from the content. Yeah, this is still a baffling decision. Like, okay, we agree that he was likely grooming children, maybe abuse as well, we agree. So he's not making money anymore, but he gets to stay on the platform. Okay. They're right, YouTube does still profit from that, even if he's not making money off it. Wow. This will be very interesting to see how it plays out. God damn. So who's suing? Well, it seems like it's a big civil lawsuit that's been ongoing and now just kind of coming out. Go listen to the songs he just uploaded, they're unhinged. That guy is one of the biggest fucking weirdo losers the internet has ever produced. I already know exactly what that shit's gonna be. It's gonna be the edgiest, goofiest, most awful, cringe shit ever. Keep in mind, this is the same guy that after the Chris Hansen shit had his, like, crying meltdown, where he's like, "Look at me! Look at me!" With his like, iPhone out and all that shit, and he's like eating his own ass. I have no desire to see what he's doing now to try and make some kind of... The only time Onision ever gets more than like 1,000 views these days is when the grooming and abuse shit comes up. And then he leans into it for about a week, gets like 1 million, 2 million views, and then he goes right back into the shadows. Very active on Twitter. I see him commenting everywhere. Yeah, he is very active on Twitter, which sounds about par for the course for a guy like him. Oh, I forgot he actually has children of his own. That is extremely concerning. Yeah, I actually forgot all about that. He's a father. Do they live with him? I don't remember. It's been so long since I bothered to give even an ounce of thought to this fucking worm. Has he been sued before? Yeah, you might remember he went to court in a bulletproof vest and his beanie. And then he got laughed out of court because he represented himself like a fucking idiot. So yeah, he's very familiar with court. How is he still relevant? He's not. Like I said, his name only comes up when it's about his grooming and his abuse. That's the only time his name comes up anymore. That's actually it. But I mean, this shit's been known for a minute. He had an entire website dedicated for, like, little girls to send him pictures of them, like, close to nude, so that way he could grade their bodies. And I remember back in the day, the controversy wasn't even him grading underage girls' bodies, it was him being mean to them and body shaming the ones that he didn't think were attractive, which is fucking unhinged. Yeah, it was wild. It was absolutely wild. Can't believe he actually got them to send photos. Why? This guy was huge in early YouTube for children. Girls everywhere watched his shit. It's legit been a decade. I know. It's been a long time. Been a long, long time. And the people who still love him don't exist. I didn't even read the rest of the sentence. There's no such thing as people that still love him. He does not have an audience anymore. Like I said, the only time his name ever even comes up and the only time people ever even engage with him is when the grooming and the abuse shit come up. He has nothing. His audience is on his website. He still has a small one. Oh, does he still have that fucking cult? I thought that disbanded during the last blow up. Maybe you're right. Maybe he does still have that website. I don't see it still. Oh no, it is still up. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he still does have his tiny cult. Does Onision have a cucking fetish? I don't know. I remember his OnlyFans had a lot of cuckoldry on it. Made a whole video on his OnlyFans once. He used to use like crude 3D models to represent himself with a small penis while his wife was getting fucked by other people and while he himself was getting fucked by other people that he himself was watching. So it was like a clone of himself. Yeah, the guy's like deeply disturbed, obviously. Doesn't YouTube have a defense case where they're sort of just publisher? Wouldn't this be squashed? Wouldn't this be like Squanch Games getting in trouble over Justin Roiland and still making money from High on Life? Well, they have had that designation for a long time. It's a protection that every social media platform has where they're not like necessarily responsible for the content itself. But if they are alerted to criminal activity taking place on their platform and they agreed that criminal activity was taking place and their response wasn't to get rid of it, it was to still monetize it, then they're in a bit of hot water. So a more apt comparison, if you're going to use Squanch Games and Justin Roiland, is if they came out and said, we know everything he did is wrong and it's all very true, but we are still keeping him here to monetize off of his name and his brand. That puts you in hot water. Because now you're knowingly allowing the criminal activity to continue and profiting from it. So if they can actually argue that in court, that would be a bit of an issue for them, but that's a tough thing to actually argue. Though it is weird. It is very weird because they did rule against him. They ruled against him. But instead of like suspending him, they just took his money away, but they still make money off of him.